Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And today we're going to do a little flower shop card, and we're going to be using this set of dies. We used the squarer one yesterday, and I want to use this one, so I'm going to move the others out of the way. So that is the smallest in the set. So I'm just leaning over the table. Right, so we're going to use the small one. I received these and I have cut these out. I've done them in a different way just to show you, kind of like mixed media. And we're going to use these two sets of roll flower dies. Now, along with that, I'm going to need a rolly up doodah thing, which I think the real term for that is a quilling tool. And if you can see it, if I put it by my finger, it's actually split so that you can pop your paper in there and then just roll it. So if I can find a link for that, because I did get it off AliExpress, then I will do it. I don't know if my camera's going to behave today. There we go. You can see the split. So that's what we've got there. That's for rolling these up. And I'm using Snap Click Supply, and it's yesterday's paper pack from the Wednesday. And also I'm using another sheet, which is this one. I think I'm going to use that one. I'm not sure, but I may use that one. But this is the pack. So this is the Cartabella Summer Market. So we've already got a ready-made sort of like flower shop window front there, and I'm going to use that. And then I also printed out another one because my intention is to fussy cut the window basket or box out and fill it with the rolled flowers. So we're creating some dimension there. I may also cut the open sign out and bring that forward a bit. And this is where that smaller book die is going to come into it, into making a three-dimensional canopy. So we're actually using something and, you know, making it our own. I may also use this little summer banner because I quite like that, and I don't know where I'd put it, but I think it might add to it. And I've also printed out the pink cardstock from that same pack, which probably isn't showing quite true. Now, when you do roll flowers, all you have to do is print out your solid colour, turn your cardstock over, and then your pink on both sides, so that when you're rolling, your cardstock is a solid colour rather than being white on the back. And I did that on that one as well. That's a sort of like rosy pink red. So that's double-sided. And then to do the leaves, that is actually green. I think it looks turquoise, but it's actually green. And that's just single-sided, because my leaves, I think, are going to go down flat. So that is the cardstock that I've got to play with today. And that is Cartabella Summer Market. Right, now going to these, I have already cut these out, and I just decided I was going to do something a little bit mixed media, and I used the basic grey herbs and honey pack. And I don't know if you can see them, they're actually in there. And I just fussy cut those out and popped some ink around them. So I just quickly did 3 of those. And how I did that was, whoops, reaching over. I printed sort of like 6 of those patterned flowers to each sheet of cardstock. And then I used one of the flower dies and I cut the flower out so that I'd got those patterns. And then I just used a blank, well, not a blank, but a solid, and then just fussy cut around it and stuck my flowers down so I can use those in a mixed media kind of project. So that's how I decided to do those. And I hope that is explanatory. Right, what I need to do here is I need to go off and die cut these from those solid sheets. I need to fussy cut my one sheet with the window, and we're going to cut the canopy, and I'll come back and show you what I've done. Right, so the first thing to share, and just to explain, I hacked the shop canopy off the top here, as you can see, I can just sort of like guillotine the open out to make the open sign 3D. I'm going to fussy cut the window box out, but that's what I cut out using this die. So you can see I've got that lovely, I hope it's going to show up. There you go, that lovely fancy edge. And now all I've got to do is take my scissors and crop it off here. Now my scissors are on the desk, so just keep straight to that line and remove it. Sorry about that. Get rid of that. And then I'm just going to guillotine across there. But if I get my other print, which is still whole, I'm going to cut my card base with this. You can see now that we've got a lovely shop canopy that we can now raise up and make a little bit dimensional. So that's really sweet, and that will fit into there. You can just marry up your lines and get it accurate. So there will be a little bit of foam under there that will just elevate that just slightly so that you've got a nice little canopy. Right, I'm going to go and guillotine and I'll fussy cut my window box and come back. Right, so I've kind of like got my bottle of glue and I've got scissors here and everything at the ready at the moment. I have fussy cut this out. You can see it's not tidy, and that doesn't matter. That is because this whole area will be covered with the roll flowers. So that will go on there and it will go on foam. So, you know, that's going to come forward from that. And if you've got little bits, you know, showing, that doesn't matter because you can kind of, you know, drop your window box down a fraction and have a little tiny bit of foliage going on behind in the background. I've decided I'm going to leave my open sign where it is because that would be flat to the window. And of course I've got my little canopy here, and I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my scoreboard and I'm going to score it here and score it here to kind of like give it that, you know, canopy kind of shape. I'll just grab my scoreboard. Right, so here it is, and this is a nice little tiny one. It's We Are Memory Keepers. You get a little embossed bit on the back, which is sweet, and also the score lines for making little envelopes. And I think I got it from Tuesday morning. I can't remember, but anyway, I'm just going to lie this here and see what it kind of gives me, because I don't want too much of a seam there. I think a quarter is going to be enough. Now, things like this are usually incredibly fiddly to me, because if you haven't got a straight edge to butt something up against, you know, you can get a few problems. Right, so I can see the 1/4 inch mark there, and you can just take your time so that you don't skip out and make a mistake. So if I turn that over, you can see I've got that lovely little score which is going to come forward, and that's going to elevate things. And then I want to score along the top of the scallop so that I can tuck that in, if you know what I mean. But I'm going to show you now. So I need to find a line that's going to give me the top of that scallop, and I'm just going to slowly go along that, and it's just kind of kissing the top of it. So if I flip that over, you can see that. So I've scored here and I've scored here, but what I want to do with this piece is bend it in. So I'm going to end up with a kind of like Z look if I put it that way. Can you see it? You've got that lovely sort of like scoop, like a canopy now. Just push that in. If you want to pull it out again afterwards, if you think you bent it up too much, you know, you can do that. So now we've got a kind of like 3D canopy. So that has enhanced it no end. The joys of playing with paper. And this is the card base, and this is where this is going to go. It's going to be married up to that. Now if I pick that up, it's going to have some foam tape under it. Can you see what you've got now? You've got that lovely little shop canopy that is going to stick up, but not too much. So along the top edge there, you're going to keep that nice and smooth. You're going to take a piece of foam tape, and I don't want to stick it to my base, so I'm just going to go along here and hope that it's in a straight line. So I've got it just behind that fold line, and I'm going to trim it off with my scissors. There we go, that's that one. And then I need to trim that bit off. So we've got that. So now we've got something that's going to help to keep our canopy slightly elevated. Not too much, because you still want to get it into your card. And then I'm going to use a thin tape, and this is a Lena Craft, and I'm just going to go across that very, very top edge. And once again, if you've overlapped, you can just trim it off with your scissors. So I've got that bit, and I've still got a bit of foam stuck to my scissors. I'm getting rid of that extra. Right, so let's peel that off. I'm going to start a little bit there so that I can see it. I'm going to take that off. Remember, with foam, it's not permanent until you actually stick it down. Right, I'm going to stand up because, as you know, I can't really see. And I want to get that accurate. I apologise if I'm shouting. And I think that's it. And then we want to bend our canopy up slightly, and then just pop that down. And you've just got enough elevation there and dimension to say that you've got your little shop canopy on. Right, so that is that bit. Right, what I'm going to do now is decide what colour base this is going to go on to, and I'm also going to go and die cut these, and I will be straight back. Alright, so I went off and I cut a bunch of them, and that's what they look like cut out. And once again, camera's not working really well, but the kind of daisy ones are embossed, and the leaves are also embossed. Now, I haven't put any adhesive tape on those. I've actually used this from Alina again, and I've just gone along the edges of all the flowers. And the reason for that is you want them to stick while you're twirling. So I'm just going to do this one, and then I'll go off camera to do the others, because they do take a little while. And all you have to do is place the cardstock between the gaps. So I've got to hold it up towards me so I can see. So you can see that there, it's threaded. Let's see how close we can go. There you go. It's threaded in, and as I roll it on itself, it's going to stick to itself. So you just keep rolling in a straight line like that. Keep it nice and tight and nice and straight. And then you just twirl it all the way down. And as you go, just peel a bit more tape off. I only do that because I don't really want it stuck to my hand. Just try and keep it all tidy and just keep going. And it doesn't matter which roll flowers you use, what shape they are. You roll them exactly the same way. You can use hot glue. Some people use a little bit of hot glue right at the very end to seal the whole thing up, but I just like to use tape all the way down. And then you just pinch it, grab it off, and I like to tap it. This would actually make a nice tassel. So I'm tapping it, and then you can just spread out your petals to get your flower. And that's basically all you have to do. Just manipulate them as you bend them and get them where you want. Just pull them all apart. Whoop. And of course you can, if you want to, curl them. So you can curl your petals down and shape them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on curling. Now with the leaves, I'm actually going to snip leaves off. So I'm not actually going to roll this. But if you did roll this and attach it to the top of a tassel, say that was done in gold foil or something, it would look absolutely gorgeous. It really would. It would be a nice, you know, sort of trim. And it is a lovely thing. Right, so I'm going to carry on curling flowers and I will be back. Right, so I actually decided, because of the scale of what I wanted to achieve, um, this isn't necessarily that big. I mean, you can see my hand on it. I decided to go with just 3 of the smaller roses because I just felt that the daisy is too big, if you know what I mean. It was just too big for what I wanted to do. So I've done that and I've cropped out all of those leaves there. There's still a few left on that strip that I want to put on. And this is the bit that I fussy cut. And what I want to do is put my leaves on first. So I'm just going to grab my pickup tool. Right, so this is the window box that I fussy cut. And as you can see, it's not very tidy. But I intend to fix that right now. So first of all, I'm just going to put some blobs of glue around the edge. And I'm going to pick up leaves and I just want to layer them so that any rough patches that I've got there are now hidden. And I'm basically going to do the same thing with all of the leaves and just try and position them for maximum coverage of any of those rough edges. So I've kind of got that going on and I've got a couple left, so I'm going to kind of dot those in the middle. I think I'll put one there because it's quite a large white area there, and do that one. Put that one there. Oops. Have that one going off at an angle. So you can see there I've covered up my my rough fussy cut, and I can stick my roses in and kind of get a feel for where I want to put them, because I am of course going to add even more leaves. See how that's all starting to hide itself? And then I've got little clusters of these leaves that can go underneath the roses. So if I'm thinking about having my hangy basket area there, then not hangy basket, my window box, I'm going to put that back because I've just picked that up. I obviously didn't squish that down very well. Now I've just picked up a rose leaf. There we go. So I'm going to dot some of this around and I'm going to do it randomly. And then if I need to tuck any more in, then I will do. So let's go with these here. Let's get these little leaves in. And all of the colours are quite matchy-matchy, which is nice. So I've got those randomly put there. And then I've got to decide how I'm going to have my rolled up roses. So I think I'm going to go with that one there. I'm just going to put some glue down and fix that one. This will take a couple of minutes to dry actually. And I'm going to put that one in there and push it down. And then I think I'm going to have my little one kind of here. So I've got my little blob of glue and I'm just going to fix them in. Right, I'm just going to quickly let that dry and I will be back. Right, so while my little window box here is still drying, the piece that I showed you at the beginning, the banner, I've cut the little flags out and I think I'm going to dot them just under the canopy. So as you can see them there, that is basically where I'm going to glue them. So I'll glue them and be right back. Right, so I stuck my little banner down and I curled it up at the edges just a little bit so that you've got a shadow. And, you know, it's just an extra little bit of something to look at on your card. So you can see we've got dimension, but we haven't gone huge so that we can still get it into an envelope. Now the window box, I'm hoping this is dry. This is the window box, so that I've used 3 of the roses and they're in complementary colours to the print on the pack. Now I've got foam pads on here, so I'm just going to gently turn it over and peel the backs off those. If I can get my fingers in there. Sorry I'm doing it off camera, but I just need to be able to see what I'm doing because I don't want to knock my roses off if they're not quite dry yet. So once I've peeled the backs off those, I've actually got 4 of the Dollar Tree foam pads. There they are. And what I want to do with this is stand up again because I want to go just below so that I've still got some of this, which is going to add some more detail into the background. So kind of measuring it there and staying within the parameters of your card. You've got a little bit of that print going on behind, which is going to give you even more of a 3D. Make sure those are stuck down. And that's it. That is the card. And that is using that book die there, which created a really sweet little canopy, a little bit of foam tape, and there's the roses, all those little leaves, and it just adds that little bit of extra to that print. So I feel really, really lucky that I was, you know, able to get that pack yesterday for $1. And it is the Snap Click Supply. It's the Cartabella and it's Summer Market. Right. So what else did I do? Oh yeah, I did these, but I didn't do them on camera. That was just to show you what else you can do with flowers. So you don't always have to be pretty. You can be a little bit grungy too. Right, so here we go. Thank you so much for watching. And as usual, all links below. Have an absolutely awesome day. Bye.